Welcome to the Cars That Move Us, where every car has a story, and every story has a soul. From the rusted-out classics to the shiny showstoppers, we dive into the tales of the makes and models that fueled dreams, sparked adventure, and left lasting imprints on our hearts. Buckle up for a ride down memory lane as we uncover the memories, the laughter, and the life-changing moments that only a car can bring. Let's hit the road.
Trevor here with the Cars That Move Us, and today we're talking to Troy Salmon, and he got himself a new Cybertruck. And I want to talk to you a little bit about why you chose the Cybertruck, what you love about it, some things that you wish, Elon lived around different. So, how long have you wanted a Cybertruck?
Well, I put in a reservation like when they announced it.
Yeah.
And I used to drive a truck for a long time.
What'd you drive before?
F-150. And I also drove like a Chevy 1500. Then I switched to the Tesla Model 3 for a while.
Okay.
Drove that. I really, really loved it. Fell in love with Teslas. Then I drove a Model Y for a while. And I always said, the only thing I wish my Tesla was different was the truck.
Okay.
So then when they announced the truck, then I was all in.
Best of both worlds. So, it looking like this did not dissuade you from wanting it.
Yeah, I was really disappointed in the way that it looked. And so that was, I had to swallow that a little bit.
But not enough to stop you from getting it.
No, because I really didn't want to drive anything but my Tesla, and I wanted a truck. So then I was like, it's worth sacrificing.
So even with a Ford Lightning, which is a truck you already had, F-150, but electric, or the Rivian or anything, none of those stood out to you. It was Tesla or nothing.
I don't like Ford's F-150, the Lightning.
Yeah.
I don't really want to drive the same truck, but just electric.
Okay.
I think it's kind of like just driving a worse truck. But if it's different enough, like I think Rivian does a good job, it's different enough. It's not like driving something that's just electric.
So you think the Lightning is worse than the normal F-150?
Yes, exactly.
How come?
Because you just don't get as good as range or tow. Like your towing's probably pretty good, but it's like having the same truck, but it's just not as good.
Less capable.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But this, you feel like, is checking the boxes that you want?
Yeah, I think it's like, it's different. It's hard to describe driving a Tesla, but it's like driving a Tesla that just so happens to be a truck.
So that's the
appeal.
The appeal for you is the experience of driving the Tesla.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, what are some of the things about a Tesla experience that is different than other things that you've driven?
Okay. So with the truck, kind of maybe a couple of main highlights are the suspension.
Okay.
And the ride is really good. So the adjustable airbag suspension.
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job on the tires, and just the ride overall is incredible. And it's,
compared to most trucks, or
compared to most trucks,
Okay.
And then I think the steering system is really unique and really great.
With the four-wheel steering.
Four-wheel steering, the yoke steering wheel, the steer-by-wire, kind of the whole combination makes, and then the suspension as well, makes it just feel like a whole different experience.
That's amazing. All right, so talk to me about this.
Okay, the yoke steering wheel is unique, I think. The intent, there's actually a lot happening inside the truck that all add up to the total experience that you don't really fully appreciate until you start thinking about it. But I think the steering wheel, I think the intent here is, cut off the top of the steering wheel to keep your field of vision more open, and then cut off the bottom to give yourself more like leg room and lap room, and it just feels more roomy, and you kind of feel more expansive on your
because that is
field. And just like having that gone helps with that situation. So then I still think your grip is still really good. And so I like it because of those reasons.
And there's something unique about this. It's not like a traditional steering wheel where you have to whirl it around to get the tires to go.
So the steer-by-wire is really great because when you're at lower speeds, very responsive. So like a full crank to the left, that's full crank.
Yeah.
So you're fully cranked to the left, and then if you go fully right, you're fully cranked to the right.
Yeah.
So you're not having to crank the steering wheel back and forth, and that's really, really helpful, especially when backing a trailer.
Definitely something you have to get used to, though.
Yeah, once you kind of reprogram your brain, then the backing is really great, and the steering, because you're kind of just one-handed going back and forth.
Is it weird driving another vehicle after being in this one for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you suddenly feel like you have to go back to the like cranking, and it takes that. Yeah, it's kind of a reset for sure.
Okay. Perfect. That's really cool. Okay, so looking at the Tesla interior, it's obviously different than most vehicles. Everything is right here. You have no cluster over here. How do you feel about that? I guess you're a Tesla man, so you're used to that, but was that something that was weird or took a while to get used to?
Yeah, it takes a minute to get used to it, like actually most things on this truck. No, I really like it. It keeps your kind of field of view wide open. Everything is central sort of to the controls here, and including like the air vents. So that's a unique Tesla thing.
Yeah.
So the air comes through this slot through here, and there's no mechanical adjustment to the airflow direction. So it's all through here, and they give you kind of this visualization, and then you adjust the airflow. They give you visualization what it's doing.
So I can do the same here. Oh, nice.
And you can feel the air moving.
That's cool.
So that's all sort of electronic. And so that's like a good example of something that's typically a physical button. And Tesla's like, seems like they are trying to reduce the number of physical buttons and kind of shift everything to electric.
Okay. Now walk me through, first time I drove this, I couldn't honestly figure out how to get it into drive.
So once you get in the truck, you put the brake on, and then this little control pops up in on the left side here. This little truck right here is you slide that to go forward or slide it to go backwards.
And this is great because visibility outwards, at least backwards, somewhat struggles, right? Would you agree with that?
Yep.
So the cameras are fantastic, so you can actually see what's going on.
Yep, and you can swap like this between front and back.
That is cool. I didn't know that. And then this is actually your rear view mirror, right?
Yep.
Because this is mostly decoration up there.
The other thing that's interesting is...
Did it just switch to night mode?
It did just switched over automatically. It's not doing it right now, but it will do an auto. If you hit the brake again, it'll shift into which direction you think you want to go.
Very nice.
Like you don't have to manually put it into drive.
That's cool. And then to put it back in park?
Hold push this P and hold for park.
Okay. Very nice. Now this is pretty cool. Like you can control everything from here. So run us through the ride height.
So the suspension is adjustable. So you click here, and then here's your kind of default settings: high, medium, low, and entry.
How do you use this normally?
So I'll use it when towing a lot. So I'll use it to raise and lower my ball. As I'm backing up, I'll go to like low mode, which now it's adjusting, and that will lower the whole truck. And that you don't do a lot of manual adjustment. You kind of set your preferences, and then as you're driving, the truck just adjusts. So for example, if you're on the freeway, it automatically adjusts to low for aerodynamics. And then if you set your preferences higher, then when you go back on city driving, it'll go back to medium or high, kind of based on different areas. Like if you're at your house, it'll leave it at high. The other thing you can do is automatically set it that when you go into park, that it goes to entry mode every time. So that's just...
entry mode does what?
It lowers it. It's the lowest setting, and it's just for convenience of getting in and out of the truck.
So you don't necessarily need running boards because it'll lower it for you.
Yeah, so instead of like raising and lowering running boards, you're raising and lowering the whole truck.
Very nice. Okay, and you can control the tonneau cover here. Do you find yourself with that closed most of the time or open?
Closed most of the time, yep. Yeah, so it's you can just click here, open tonneau cover, and it gives you a visualization of what's going on, but you can hear it in the background. And if you turn around now, you can see it's open. Okay. Close this. Now. Your back screen is pretty cool for entertainment. So you can do YouTube, Netflix, all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So the kids like to do that.
That is fun.
And yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Very nice. You talked to us about a lot of the stuff you like about it. What are some of the things you don't love about it? You had already mentioned you didn't love the look of it at first, but it's growing on you, like that it's different. What else?
My only thing I don't really like, the only downside, is the range while towing. So it's not any really different than a gas truck in terms of kind of halving your range.
Yeah.
But the charging system is not really designed to do 100 miles or 150 mile range. Yeah. So you're kind of limited on how far you can tow. And that's like that's the downside.
That is the downside. Perfect. Now, why'd you decide to wrap it instead of keep it to stainless?
I actually really like the stainless, but it's really hard to keep clean.
Yeah.
It's probably the number one downside.
Yeah.
And I do think a wrap looks really good.
It does.
But I like the stainless because you don't really worry about scratches and dents and stuff like that, where the wrap will rip.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I think it turned out nice.
That's awesome. Now, obviously, it is different. It looks like a spaceship. This weekend, we jokingly called it the spaceship several times. What kind of reaction do you get out of people when you drive it around?
Like most of the time, people are like really just interested in it and want to know about it, curious, and a lot of people give you thumbs up. They'll like stare at you or whatever. And then you get quite a few haters that will flip you off or
for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. Give you a thumbs down.
Yeah,
it's pretty common.
That's wild.
Super weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a range of reactions.
That's funny. Do you find yourself having more conversations with this than you did when you were driving your Model 3?
Yeah, probably 20 times more.
Yeah. And your family, man, how do your kids like it?
They're obsessed with it.
Are they?
Yeah.
How come?
Kids love it. I don't know. All kids love it.
All kids?
Yeah.
So not just your kids, all kids?
Yeah, all kids. Yeah. You drive down the road and kids are yelling at us everywhere.
Probably because it looks like a third grader designed the route. Very geometric. Yeah.
They identify with it.
Well, that's perfect. Well, awesome. Thank you for chatting with it, and it's been a lot of fun to drive, and thank you for that.
You're welcome.